Today we're going to go over what the cold does to your body. It's faster, more acute and more dramatic than anything that the sauna produces. The moment your skin hits cold water, your thermoreceptors fire, not gradually, immediately. Cold receptors in your skin sends a signal to your hypothalamus in milliseconds. There is no adjustment period. Your nervous system reads the cold water as an acute threat and responds immediately. The first thing that fires is the cold shock response. Your body gasps, breathing rate spikes sharply, heart rate surges. In some people, 20 to 30 beats per minute within a few seconds. Blood pressure rises, and this all happens before you've had a single conscious thought about what to do next. This is the sympathetic nervous system doing exactly what it's designed to do. The primary chemical driver is norepinephrine. Cold immersion produces one of the largest natural spikes available to the human body. Research shows increases of up to 200 to 300% above baseline, sustained for some time after the session ends. Norepinephrine is a neurotransmitter and a hormone. As a neurotransmitter, it sharpens focus, heightens alertness, and increases signal speed across the nervous system. As a hormone, it drives vasoconstriction. The blood vessels in your skin and extremities constrict sharply, redirecting blood to your core to protect your vital organs. This is why your hands and your feet go numb first. Core temperature protection takes priority over peripheral comfort. At the same time, the diving reflex fires. This is one of the most ancient reflexes in human physiology. When cold water hits your face or the back of your neck, the vagus nerve fires a hardwired parasympathetic response that slows the heart rate. This reflex evolved to conserve oxygen during submersion. It's the same reflex that allows free divers to slow their heart rate dramatically underwater. In an ice bath, you get both signals simultaneously. The sympathetic cold shock pushing heart rate up, and the diving reflex pulling it back down. The result is a highly activated but partially stabilised state. Your heart rate is elevated but not out of control. Your body is managing two competing signals at the same time. Learning to breathe through this slowly and deliberately is how you access the parasympathetic state more fully and reduce the sympathetic spike. This is the skill that gets trained over repeated sessions. After the initial cold shock, something shifts. After around 30 to 90 seconds, if you stay in and breathe through it, the sympathetic response begins to level off. Heart rate comes down slightly. The norepinephrine level is still elevated, but the acute spike has passed. Some people describe this point as where the ice bath stops being something that's happening to them and starts being something that they're in control of. That transition is neurological. The nervous system has assessed the threat, it's confirmed that you're not dying and begins to stabilise. What you're doing by staying in, breathing deliberately, and keeping attention to the present moment is training the nervous system to reach the stabilisation point faster and more reliably with each session. When you exit the ice bath, the parasympathetic rebound fires. The cold threat resolves. The hypothalamus reads that the acute stressor is gone. The parasympathetic branch takes over sharply. Heart rate drops. Breathing deepens. The norepinephrine spike begins to clear. This is the parasympathetic rebound, and it is a measurable physiological shift. If you were then to move into the sauna, you cycle the whole sequence again in reverse. Your body starts to warm, gradual sympathetic activation, and sharp parasympathetic recovery on exit. The system has been trained across its full range within one session. Over time, your nervous system adapts to the cold in specific ways. The cold shock response becomes less acute, the gasp reflex settles faster, heart rate variability improves, your nervous system gets better at managing the spike and recovering from it. Norepinephrine baseline can shift upwards slightly, which is associated with improved mood, mental clarity, and focus outside of the ice bath. People who train regularly with cold immersion report the same thing. The first session feels like chaos. After 50 sessions, it feels like control. That's not just willpower, that's adaptation. The nervous system has updated its response to this specific stressor. The threat assessment has changed because the evidence has changed. This is what you're building every time that you get into the ice bath. Not just tolerance, adaptation. I find contrast therapy absolutely fascinating, so I'm putting these videos together to educate you on how contrast therapy can help you.